Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am Adrian Atkinson and I'll be your guide on today's journey. We have an informative and engaging program lined up just for you.
On June 1, against the background of much public discussion, Major General Anthony Anderson took up office as the CEO of the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA. Is the noise affecting him?
In order to do the job, you have to be able to clear the noise. You have to be laser focused on what you're trying to get done.
Why take on this job?
When you do service, there's never enough that you can do for your country.
And what's his vision for the entity?
At the core of it is that we actually deliver at scale, with speed, transparently, efficiently.
That's a special JIS interview with the CEO of NARA this Sunday in Jamaica Magazine.
Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Jamaica Magazine. In his recent sectoral debate presentation, Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Samuda, outlined a number of initiatives to strengthen the country's water infrastructure, safeguard natural resources, and build resilience to climate change. In this feature, we take a closer look at some of the key plans and projects highlighted for the year ahead.
Actions to combat water shortages, climate threats, and environmental obstacles. The Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change is spending billions on infrastructure investments to enable Jamaica's sustainable future. Jamaica is now entering a critical phase in building resilience against future challenges. At the center of the ministry's plans, water security. The government is spending over $15 billion in the 2026 to 2027 fiscal year to bring potable water to all of Jamaica. A key move is an initiative to significantly strengthen the Water Resources Authority, WRA's ability to detect early signs of drought, monitor flood conditions as they develop, and respond with greater speed.
The WRA, in collaboration with the Met Service of Jamaica, is rolling out a long-range wide area network called the LoRa-1 in a phased 3-year program. Hundreds of field sensors and network gateways will capture real-time data on groundwater levels, river flows, and rainfall across the island. Even in our most remote off-grid communities, this data will flow into centralized platforms with advanced analytical tools.
There are also plans to combat one of the biggest threats in the water sector, non-revenue water, or NRW. This is water that never reaches paying customers because of leaks, illegal connections, or operational losses.
NRW drives up energy costs, constrains available supply, and makes NWC financially unsustainable if left unaddressed.
And so, to address this, the government is rolling out a nationwide reduction program valued at more than $340 million, which is to be implemented over an 11-year period.
Jamaica has an NRW target of 30% by 2035. The annual financial return is clear. 10.7 billion, comprising 7.7 billion in additional revenue at current tariff rates from improved billing and collection, and $2.8 billion in annual electricity savings, and $167 million in chemical cost savings.
With an eye on ensuring sustainable use of Jamaica's natural resources, the ministry is advancing several environmental protection measures. Among them is the planned establishment of a River Management Authority and a Keys Management Authority under the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA.
The River Management Authority will focus on risk mapping and early warning, sediment and debris management, enforcement against encroachment. The Keys Management Authority is necessary to ensure coordinated management of our keys, which are a sensitive ecosystem, but also incredibly valuable economically.
The government is also preparing to begin canal construction in Negril to re-wet wetlands and support shoreline stabilization efforts. Additionally, amendments to the Wildlife Protection Act are expected this fiscal year. It is expected that the changes will help Jamaica ratify the Spatially Protected Areas and Wildlife Spa Protocol, a regional agreement for the protection and sustainable use of coastal and marine biodiversity in the wider Caribbean.
Over the period of 2020 to 2025, Jamaica has experienced an escalation in climate-related events. The passage of Hurricane Beryl in July 2024, Hurricane Melissa in October 2025, resulted in widespread damage and disruption across several parishes. These events, alongside severe drought conditions between 2020 and 2023, caused significant damage to infrastructure, agricultural and coastal systems, while having a severe economic impact.
And so, climate resilience is another major focus. To that end, Jamaica is expected to complete climate change legislation during this fiscal year. The legislation is being developed in partnership with the United Kingdom Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. It is expected to strengthen accountability, improve policy implementation, and increase Jamaica's ability to access international climate financing. This will be supported by Jamaica's long-term emissions reduction and climate resilience strategy, known as LTS 2050. The strategy, which was completed in July 2025, outlines Jamaica's pathway toward achieving net zero emissions by or before 2050.
The LTS projects approximately $13.9 billion in net economic benefits by 2050, along with the creation of 26,000 jobs, particularly in green and emerging sectors. Madam Speaker, these are not just projections. They represent a shift in how Jamaica positions itself in the global economy. Importantly, the LTS is aligned with our NDC and other national priority policies, ensuring coherence across short and medium and long-term planning.
Another major initiative is the $50 million Adapt Jamaica project, of which the Green Climate Fund is providing $40 million in grant funding. The program is expected to benefit more than 700,000 Jamaicans, particularly farmers and rural communities. The project includes the provision of climate-smart technologies such as solar-powered irrigation systems and resilient greenhouses aimed at improving food security and agricultural resilience.
Climate resilience is not an expense. It is an investment in Jamaica's survival, stability, competitiveness, and indeed our resurgence.
As climate pressures intensify and demand for resources continues to grow, the Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change is spending billions of dollars on water investments, environmental protection, and climate resilience efforts to ensure Jamaica's sustainable future.
Hi, I'm Landy. Welcome to NLA Connect, the National Land Agency's customer engagement platform. NLA Connect is a simple, user-friendly platform designed to help you share your feedback, get support, and updates about land-related matters. Available 24/7, NLA Connect allows you to share suggestions, comments, and commendations, submit queries and report issues, attach files with your requests, track requests and get real-time status updates, connect with NLA client engagement officers, and provide feedback on the service received by the platform. We're making it easier for you to connect with us. You can access NLA Connect via our website, using the kiosk at any of our offices, or scanning the QR code displayed at our locations. Need any help along the way? Check out our FAQs section. It has all the answers you need in one location. NLA Connect, your voice, our priority.
In observance of World Solid Waste Day and National Environmental Awareness Week, attention is being placed on the role each of us play in protecting our environment. Up next, we examine the importance of proper waste management and its impact on Jamaica's coastlines, beaches, and natural resources.
the Palisades Strip is where a lot of the garbage that is discarded in the gullies, the streets, the drains of Kingston ends up. So there's a heavy rainfall and it floats across the harbour and it winds up on the Palisades Strip. So every year, this strip is where we're getting tons and tons of garbage. So, it's really an important site for raising awareness of what's happening in the streets of Kingston.
My incentive really is to get to a point where our behaviors are changed at the source so that plastics don't end up on the beach in the first place. So really I want to see those volumes go down because our practices have become healthier and cleaner as a people, so that throughout the year, it's not just one day we come in and clean up the beach, but throughout the year our beaches are kept clean. And if we sell in our brochures Paradise, which is basically powder white sand beaches, sunshine year round, turquoise blue waters, crystal clear as well, cascading waterfalls, those are all the things that we sell. And in any kind of service industry, you're supposed to exceed your customers' expectations. That means when your customers come and experience it, the last thing you want to do is have them see garbage on those natural blessings that we receive.
Every year, we have groups coming to us, wow, you will never guess what I found. Like they find a mannequin. Somebody told me they found an iron, and it's all like a huge surprise to some people. And, it's often the first time people are really seeing face to face where this garbage is going and what kind of garbage is in the environment. You name it. If it doesn't break down in the environment naturally, we're going to find it on International Coastal Cleanup Day.
I think it's very positive from a branding standpoint. The fact that we are so socially responsible, so environmentally responsible as a nation, I believe that's very positive for our brand for tourism.
From my perspective, I think it's actually a good thing because when you're passing the garrisons and the gullies, you see a lot of plastics in the gutter and styrofoam. So I think it's a good move.
This comes like something that I would always want. Yes, I don't believe in plastic. I believe in preserving the ozone layer. We have to reduce carbon footprint and keep Jamaica green.
We buy our bags, or more than one use bags from the supermarket. Some of them weak, but we still, use them because they're biodegradable. You understand? So I support it 100%. Just not dirty up Jamaica. We need to set a different mindset, We need to have a different mindset as it relates to Jamaica and cleaning Jamaica. If you go to other countries, developing and developed countries, they manage their trash fairly well, especially like the coastlines and the beaches and so on, because they're disciplined, right? And Jamaica need to break that mentality of they're not being watched, so just throw the garbage somewhere, somebody's going to clean it up.
Managing quite well. However, when you're hungry and need to get something in the supermarket, you have to carry it in your hand.
Well, it was hard at first. We always knew we wanted to reduce our intake of plastics, but actually having to do it, I'm not going to lie, it has been a challenge, but it's a worthwhile one. So I only use paper straws. I have my recyclable bottles, so I buy water by the 5-gallon and I go and refill it. So I try to reduce plastic as much as possible.
It was rough at first, but I've been getting accustomed to it, using the paper bags. Going to the supermarket or ordering from a restaurant. But yeah, I'm glad the ban, it seems to be going quite well in a sense. People are getting accustomed to seeing more paper bags being used and the place is being cleaned more.
The millennials more so than the non-millennials, so yeah. I think the millennials are more conscious of what is going on around us with the not only the oceans but the climate as well. So I think we've grown up always hearing, that polar ice caps are melting and so forth and so forth. So we know of the dangers of our environments and what's happening.
On campus, we have recycling bins and so forth. So we do try to recycle, but it's not the norm. It's something that it's still taboo, so only a few people really do recycle. So you have recycling bins here and then general disposal, and you still have persons throwing plastic bottles in there. So it's something that we're still not practicing as yet, and it's important that we do.
We need to translate it from beach cleanup to not dotting up Jamaica. It's not just about cleaning up the beach, you know, it's about managing our garbage all year round in a better way. Next year, we're hoping that we'll see an even further reduction in the amount of garbage that we're picking up, because we're having the deposit refund scheme for plastic bottles coming, and the styrofoam as well will also, you know, be out of the picture. So we're really looking forward to a day when ICC is not necessary anymore. We're not there yet, but you know, as we take these steps as a nation, you know, to raise awareness, to improve legislation and regulations as it relates to solid waste, you know, we're hoping that that really does make a change.
What's really inside your child's drink? Let's count it out. A 600 milliliter soda can contain 15 to 20 teaspoons of sugar, but the recommended daily allowance for children ages 2 to 18 is less than 6 teaspoons. And that 450 milliliter box drink, it can contain 12 to 15 teaspoons of sugar. Children under 2 should have no added sugar at all. So instead of reaching for sugary drinks, encourage your children to drink water, because when you know what's in the drink, making healthier choices is easy.
As CPR week is coming to an end, we are reminded that a few minutes of knowledge can make the difference between life and death. Let's take a closer look at a step-by-step demonstration from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and learn how to properly perform CPR during a cardiac emergency.
Everyone clear. Press flashing button.
Clear everybody, I'm clear, you're clear.
Shock delivered.
Most emergency happen at home, so you're not really in an hospital. So knowing what to do will enhance the chances of saving life. So CPR is very, very, very important to start immediately. So once somebody collapses, the first step you must ensure the scene is safe. Now, depending on where you are, let's say it's in an office space, just by moving a chair, moving a table, you can make the scene safe. Now, once the scene is safe, the next step is to check for responsiveness. And checking for responsiveness, you're tapping the shoulder of the person, so you tap and shout, are you okay, are you okay? Now, once you tap and shout and the person is not moving, they're not talking, they're unresponsive. Once they're unresponsive, the next step is to shout for help. Now, you shout now loud for help because CPR is a long and tiring process. And you don't want to start CPR and nobody knows that you're there performing CPR. So you shout for help, somebody answer your call, and they say they've soon reached you. They're not there as yet. In that time, you should be checking for breathing. So you check for rise and fall of the chest and check for breathing simultaneously. Are you doing that for at least 5 seconds, no more than 10 seconds? Once help now arrive, you would then tell them to call the response team and get an AED machine. Christina, call the response team and get an AED machine. Now the AED machine is a device used to analyze and detect that abnormal rhythm of the heart. And that's where the AED machine comes in. Most persons will say call the police just in case of an emergency. But what we would teach you is to call the firefighters, because the firefighters are trained in first aid and they're trained in CPR. Now, let's say they don't bring the AED machine to you as yet. You then start giving compressions.
Now, compressions is where you're compressing at the center of the chest, lower half of the breastbone. You're going at a depth of at least 2 inches or 5 centimeters. The rate is important. So you're going at a rate of 100 to 120 compressions per minute. You're giving 30 compressions followed by 2 breaths. And you're doing that for 5 cycles. So 30 compressions, 2 breaths, that's 1 cycle. 30 compressions, 2 breaths, that's 2. And you're doing that for 5 cycles, which equal to 2 minutes of CPR. And then follow, you will give 2 breaths, which 1 breath lasts for 1 second, you're giving 2 breaths. Now, to know that your breaths are effective, you must see the rise and fall of the chest. And once the chest rise and fall, your breaths were effective, and then you go back to giving compressions. And that's CPR in a nutshell. You don't want to delay help. So once you recognize the emergency, recognize someone has collapsed, you know immediately you want to start CPR.
Heart disease, diabetes, and back pain. You don't feel it right away, but sitting 6 to 8 hours without breaks can be dangerous. Sitting for long periods slows blood flow, strains your back, and affects how your body manages blood sugar. Start your day with a stretch. Take regular short breaks away from your desk, and do simple stretches at your desk for your neck, shoulders, and hips. We live and work in a digital world. Screens are everywhere, and it's almost impossible to get things done without one. And the longer we sit, the longer we stare. While your body feels the strain, your eyes do too. Eye strain can lead to headaches, blurred vision, and fatigue, often without you even realizing it. But there are ways to reduce the impact. Practice the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds to give your eyes a break. Remember, stand, stretch, break, and repeat.
Turning a business idea into a successful enterprise takes planning, persistence, and the right guidance. Let's take a look at practical tips from the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC, on how to do just that.
Starting and operating a successful business requires mindset, structure, and strategy. To remain sustainable and competitive, you need a roadmap that saves time and money while maximizing income and growth. And a business incubator can get you out the starting block.
I believe the first starting point is to check JBDC. Our mantra is taking you from concept to market. We are at the concept stage, which is the ideation stage, thinking about business. You come to us and we provide you with the assessment of what it is that you are planning to do or thinking of doing, guide you to whether or not this makes sense or not. Then the next step is to look at the structure, look at how it is that you're going to sustain this business. Does it have a reliable market? Is it a nice to do product, or is it nice to have product, or is it a must have product, for instance? So accessing the marketability of the product is very important. Having done so, assessing the other end of the supply chain. Do you have the raw materials to get into this business? If it is a service business, do you have the personnel that are equipped and trained? So to look at structuring your business in such a way that for growth and for sustainability, that includes doing a business plan.
With your in-demand product or service, the right research, a clear plan, and a strong team, you're on track to a scalable and profitable enterprise. But remember, teamwork makes the dream work. So build a network of persons hinged on the principles of honesty, trust, and other ethical business conduct.
Assemble a solid team people you can rely on, persons who are professional in their practices, and persons who will give the same energy and drive to whatever business endeavor you plan to engage in.
Now, let's look at financing your business development. Not every dollar is the right dollar to borrow. Therefore, you must seek funding from the right source and appropriate for your business's stage of development.
You have to understand that based on the stage of business that you're at, whether or not you are thinking about it, or you are at seed stage, startup stage, or you are at growth stage, or you are at internationalization stage, the right financial product is different. For startups, we do not recommend that you start up your business solely with somebody else's money, with credit money. Because the moment that you take credit financing, as in from a bank or financial institution, that type of thing, the clock starts ticking. You're still in that stage of testing out your business, testing out the validation of your product and things of that nature. So you can't be assured that you'll have the cash flow that is required for you to pay back a loan.
For those businesses at the growth and internationalization stage, there are other agencies of the government that can support and guide, like the Exim Bank and JAMPRO.
It is important for us at Exim that the ecosystem around each business is well supported. So when we look at the capital, the capital in different forms. We look at money, we look at structure, we look at the human capital that they're bringing in. So even looking at our loan processing, it's a comprehensive look at the business and how we can help you. So whatever that you are investing in whatever form, Exim is here to support it, look at it, not just to lend you money and leave you, but to guide you, to help you.
It is important in today's digital age for persons to be able to find and interact with your business online. So leverage the available technology. Post online ads and pay for them to be boosted to reach a larger target audience as you push your branding and maintain high standards. And one golden rule that never changes: good record keeping. This helps you see the figures clearly, manage your cash flow, and ensure that you can pay bills and settle debts on time. Build creditability and financial discipline by always passing funds through a business bank account. Understand the business. Plan, tweak, use machinery, automation, digitization, and digitalization to improve productivity levels. Your business journey isn't just about survival. It's about building a legacy with the right mindset, the right path, and the right support to ensure success is within reach.
Hurricanes can be dangerous, catastrophic events, but we can lessen the damage if we are prepared. Keep up to date with the latest information from reliable sources such as the Meteorological Service and ODPEM. The power will probably go with the internet following, so a good old battery-operated radio is a must-have. Stock up on non-perishable food items and emergency items such as flashlights and extra batteries. Secure important documents. Have a pre-packed emergency bag with safety gear such as raincoats and water boots. Ensure windows are protected and roofing is secured. Have updated information on emergency shelters near you in case you need to evacuate during the storm. Preparation will lessen the devastation when dealing with a hurricane. Be prepared.
We're at the end of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. You can stay connected with us online at gis.gov.jm and on our social media platforms. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkins, and thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.